We're good? We're ready?
We're recording. I can edit out this part.
No. Let's keep that. I think my traps look better like that. Let's stick with that. Okay. All right, guys, we're back. We have a couple more questions for this week, and a really good one in particular. So, holidays coming up. We're still going to hold this theme. So, Christmas is coming up if you celebrate. Hanukkah's coming up. New Year's is coming. So, what does Lauren do in this time of year? What does she do to stay in shape and to stay fit? And how does she not gain weight over the course of these next few weeks?
Okay, so guess what? I do gain weight because I don't care. But here's the caveat. That's not the answer you were expecting.
No, I knew that. I noticed. Just kidding.
Thanks. Yes, so I am at a different stage of my, what's the word I'm thinking of?
I thought.
Okay, so I like to lean out in the summer like most people do, and right now I'm trying to get stronger and build some muscle, so I am eating in a surplus. So
different phase.
I'm in a different phase.
Just bulking.
Thank you.
Jacked.
I'm not bulking. I'm doing a lean bulk. So I'm actually eating in a little bit of a surplus right now to help try and facilitate some gains. So I'm not the best person to ask, I think, about this. However, what I will say is that I'm a creature of habit, and I think most people that are typically very successful in maintaining their weight, right? So I'm the kind of person, super boring, that eats like the same 30 or 40 foods a week, right? And you're the same. You're the same, right? So I'll have my meals where I go nuts and I eat a lot more, and I think, or I'll get into the Reese's stash because now they make Reese's shapes for every holiday, and I need to have them in my life. The white ones are so good. And I don't even like white chocolate, but those for some reason are so much better than the regular ones. So, okay, in general, I eat very consistent. I eat similar meals that I know satisfy me. I eat a lot of protein. I eat a lot of fiber. And I control most of my meals during the week. So that way, when I do have a larger calorie meal, it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. I don't drink, so that is a major way that I control calories. It's just not worth it to me. I'd rather eat cake or something than have a couple beers. Obviously, that is not super common, I don't think.
No,
right?
No, yeah,
most people drink.
You're outside the norm on that.
Yeah.
Like most things.
Yeah, so I stick to the staples, things that we always talk about: lean meat, a lot of protein, vegetables, fruit. I stick to that for the majority of my diet. That way I can enjoy the holidays. And again, I'm also in a different phase right now, so I'm eating anywhere from like 22 to 2,500 calories a day, so I have a lot of wiggle room.
I'd wither away to nothing with 2,200 calories.
Well, I'm 125 pounds. Yeah. So, long story short, no, I don't lose weight over the holidays. I don't even maintain like I'm trying to gain weight. So I'm not your best gauge. What I'm curious is what you eat, James. How do you maintain?
I'm very similar in terms of being a creature of habit.
Mm-hmm. Turkey meatballs.
Yeah, well, Costco hurt me a little bit recently. They got rid of their turkey meatballs and their turkey burgers, which for maybe 4 or 5 years was my staple. Every meal was either turkey meatballs or turkey burgers.
And your sandwich thin.
Yeah, on my sandwich thins were the turkey burgers, and then turkey meatballs usually on one of those whole wheat wraps that Costco has, 100 calories. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Thrown for a loop a little bit now, not having those.
But you enjoyed that. That's the takeaway.
Yeah,
I love the way that I eat.
Well, I think people who want variable foods at different times, at different days, and I find that super stressful.
Yeah.
Like if I think about, I don't know what time I'm eating, and when that time hits that I'm really hungry, what am I going to eat? that stresses me out. So I'd rather go home and know that I'm going to have a turkey sandwich right around noon or 1 o'clock. Like that's one less thing to think about every day, and there's plenty of other things to think about. So I don't like having no idea as to what my food schedule is going to be like. Things pop up here and there, especially in the facility all the time, where you have muffins, you have cookies, things pop up, and I don't avoid those. I think I've gotten a pretty bad reputation here for being the one to take care of most of the candy and the chocolate that ends up in the facility. But yeah, I don't avoid anything like that, but I do know roundabout what the rest of my meal is going to be like. And then typically when I do eat a lot here, because people brought me a dozen cookies or something like that, and I had 6 of them, then usually I just eat less that night.
Yeah, checks and balances,
yeah,
right?
We talk about that a lot. If I added calories here by over-consuming, then I'll subtract calories later and know that I'm going to eat less at night because I ate so much during the day. Then over the holidays, what I'll do frequently on the day of an event in which I'm going to be eating a lot is I just don't eat beforehand, or I just have a protein shake. I know I'm going to eat a lot later, so I don't feel like I need to eat before I go out and have a big lunch or dinner, and I'm going to have a lot of calories, so I just try to cut back on the calories throughout the day. I'll potentially not eat it all until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock when that event actually comes up.
See, I think I'm a little different, and I think why we're successful in maintaining a healthy weight is obviously we work out most days of the week, right? We have our rest days, but I think we've also just found over the years what actually works for us. I'm someone who can eat a ton of food in a sitting, like a ton of food. I could out eat most people, I think.
Next week,
Lauren versus James. Do that. Lauren versus James. With what though? So with that being said, I have found ways to eat a lot of volume without a lot of calories, and that again comes with lean meats and vegetables and things like that, fruit. So, and again, being a creature of habit, like I know what is going to satisfy certain cravings. I know what amount of food, because I eat similar amounts every day as well. I know what satisfies me, and then I don't have the question mark in my head of, do I need to eat more, or do I want to eat more, or whatever. Like it's kind of just laid out for me. So not super sexy, I don't think, being the creature of habit, but it works.
Yeah, and I'd love for more people to try that before they say it's something they can't do.
Yeah.
Because that's what you get a lot of, like, hey, I eat the same things every day. I think that if your goal is fat loss, then you probably should do something like that, or at least try it for 7 days. And, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but if you're eating foods that you like, that fit your calories for the day, at the end of the day, then why not just stick to that? It's less thinking.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to go back into your app and say, oh, how many calories is this? Should I even have this? It just decreases the amount of thought that's necessary to get to what your goal is at the end of the day. So once I started doing that, I think that was huge for me. And this goes back to when I was 250 pounds in college. It was like, you wake up and you have a protein bar. Then you have in the afternoon, you have a turkey sandwich. Later you have a protein shake. And then at night you have a turkey burger. And that's 7-8 years ago.
But you liked it.
Loved it.
Like how, see my breakfast every morning, like literally maybe 6 mornings a week for the past couple of years, is half a cup of oatmeal. I put it in the microwave, and then I add a scoop of protein powder, and I freaking love it. And in fact, some of you watching this will know, they'll walk into the facility when I'm at test and I'm eating that, and people go, what is that smell? And I always hear Donna when I'm eating at my desk, oh, that's Lauren's oatmeal. Wow, that smells so good. It's oatmeal with protein powder, like. But I love it. I crave it. I'll have that for after my dinner if I'm still.
Wow.
hungry.
That's impressive.
So lame. I'm just a lame person in general. Very uneventful.
So, if we're going out on Christmas Day, New Year's Day, and we have one big feeding, let's say we eat, I don't know, let's pick a strange number like 5,000 calories.
Okay.
That we totally didn't discuss at all before, that just came up now. Let's say we ate 5,000 calories over the course of a meal. Is our life over? Should we now eat whatever we want going forward because we've completely given up on our plan? There's no reason to even try to get back on schedule. it's over. It's done. You're gonna keep gaining weight for the rest of your life because of this one 5,000 calorie meal, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. I think it's pretty clear that it's the prolonged bouts of overeating that are what contribute to excessive weight gain, and whether that's in a short period of time or spread out over the course of a couple months. But so let's just do some like really basic calculations, and these are not perfect, guys, but I just want to try and highlight how little damage it can do. So take 5,000 calories, right? Say you're someone that burns, say you're James, right? Your total daily energy expenditure is about 3,000 calories, a day on average, and that's his basal metabolic rate, the thermic effect of food, his exercise, like structured exercise, and then his NEAT, right? It's 3,000. So right now we're looking at the difference there is about 2,000 calories of a surplus, right? So when you're looking at that extra calories in the surplus, you want to think about assuming it's probably, if you're indulging, like it's going to be more carbs and fats. So the thermic effect of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are all different. They have different rates. So usually proteins around 30%, carbohydrates are like 6 to 8%, fats are 2 to 3% of a thermic effect. So if you're looking at like the average, say it's 40% of the excessive intake, your surplus, from carbs, 40% from fat, and then 20% from protein, because again, you're eating foods that are probably loaded with more carbs and fats when you're out to dinner. Let's just say on average that ends up being like a 15% thermic effect in general. So if you're looking at that 2,000 calorie surplus, the thermic effect of that, just to digest it, is about 300 calories. So subtract 300 calories from that, then you have 1,700 calories. Typically, when you eat in a surplus, and this is not for everybody, some people eat in a surplus and they go sit on the couch and they don't do anything, but there's the people that will spontaneously move more, speak with their hands like I have a habit of doing, tap their feet more, so that's the NEAT that we've talked about before. So let's just say on average you burn an extra 200 calories for every 1,000 calorie surplus from NEAT, right, just by moving more, probably subconsciously. So let's say that's not quite 400 calories, 375 calories. Now we're only at a 1,300 calorie surplus after you're considering all those things. And I would say for someone like you, that's an experienced strength trainer. Maybe 50% of that, there's some statistics in like a chart that I have in one of my books. Let's just say 50% of that goes into storage as body fat, and the other 50% is stored as glycogen or whatever, or just kind of burned off. But so let's say that's 50% of that, 1,300, 650 calories are going into storage as body fat. So if you're looking at 9 calories per gram of fat, that is I'm going to do the calculation on that. All right, so 650 calories, divide that by 9. All right, so 72 grams of fat, right? And we're looking at kilograms, so 72. So that ends up being 0.072 kilograms potentially of body fat, and then we do that by 2. Hold on. I got an old school calculator over here. Wait, do we multiply it by 2.2? Mm-hmm. 5 pounds of body fat potentially as storage. And again, these are not perfect numbers, but 0.15 pounds, that's not a lot. Yeah. It's really not. So don't freak out. Just move on, get back to normal. And we're almost at 15 minutes, so we got to finish. 30 seconds, go.
Yeah, so I think point being, like, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to gain 8 pounds overnight, even though you may get on the scale and you may be a few pounds heavier. It's just a current flux, momentary flux for the moment. And that also doesn't give you justification to eat 5,000 calories in a meal either. So don't eat 5,000 calories and say, oh, this is only going to turn into 0.14% fat.
Yeah, just look at the overall picture. The checks and balances, get back to your normal eating patterns the next day, and you really probably won't do much damage from one bad day of eating.
Questions next week. Bye.